is round number 2 here from Japan, round number 4 overall for the Velocity Online Racing Series in the Apex Sage Coaching IndyCar Series. As you see the road course there just a second ago, that's where we were last week. Tonight, we're on the oval as we race for the second straight week here in Japan on the Twin Ring Motegi racetrack. We welcome you into the Motegi 400. It's round number 4 of the VOR IndyCar Series presented by Apex Sage Coaching as we get you ready for 162 laps, 250 miles here at Motegi. I am the captain, Chris Scala. Welcome in to a very interesting racetrack. It is an egg-shaped oval, much like Darlington, so to say, if you're one who knows racing in that matter. Otherwise, it's a fast track. It's a very wide track and just a different type of layout. And we are in store for some great racing here this evening as the cars are starting to grid. Qualifying is over with as we take a look at the point standings entering round number 4 tonight. Alex Van de Sant leading the points by 3 right now over Nicholas Sadiq. Mitchell Riggs there in 3rd. Gavin Sanders, last week's winner on the road course, he is 4th. And Oscar Fredrickson, your top 5 as we go into round number 4 of the series. VOR down there leading the points right now in the series for the team. Let's take a look at the race info that you'll see this evening tonight. 162 laps, going to make up 250-ish miles. It's a 400-kilometer race. You see the track wider, obviously faster. 1 and 2, turn 3 and 4, not so fast coming off the corner. Of course, 10 degrees of banking. It's a 1.54-mile oval. Pit speed 50 miles an hour, 60 the fuel laps tonight, and working on 6 sets of tires. The race 3 season 3 winner was Isaac Morris. So that's some track info for you as the cars are on the track. And let's roar through the starting lineup here for this race. Alex Van de Sant on the pole as he continues to have a good start to what could be a 3rd straight championship, along with Mitchell Riggs on the outside. Inside row 2, Gavin Sanders, Luis Gonzalez Nunez, Nicholas Sadiq, Oscar Fredrickson, row 3, Julian Altena, Dakota DeMay in row 4, Cohen Evans, Thomas Geisler, row 5, Cameron Bostien, and Craig Forsyth in row number 6. Row 7, James Watson, Matt Houston, Shane Cogan, Lewis Woodall, Jim Eric, and Jeff Destino, and Sebastian Kinder going to be the remainder of this 19-car field that gets set for 162 laps on the oval at Motegi. Let's go. And immediately off turn 4, Alex Van de Sant leaving him. Already a half-second gap right now over Gavin Sanders, Gonzalez, Nunez, Riggs, and Fredrickson, your top 5. This corner here, you're almost wide open. And then down the back straightaway to turn 3 and 4 where you're not so wide open. And you're almost slowing down the almost 3 gears, almost to about 3rd gear entering that corner. See some shuffling going on back here. Cohen Evans making a move back here, 14th position. Cohen going to take the spot away. There's Jim Herrick up there on that top side, the teammate. The VOR car right there behind them. That is Lewis Woodall in the 13, looking to have a good run here this evening. Of course, the dirty air going to play a major role here. You see James Lewis Woodall kind of washing up the track just a little bit right now as we got 3 wide up here. And it looks like everybody sorted it out. I saw 3 cars deep, it looked like. As back here, this pink 82 car of Dakota DeMay running a pretty interesting paint scheme, I'd say. Is that the Pretty Pony car? Is that what I'm seeing there? Oh, Hello Kitty. Hey, that's an old school paint. Kitty almost falling back a spot there. Shane Cogan there in that 29 right there behind. As here comes Sudik. Sixth position right now as he holds off Julian Altina. Julian coming off a top 3 last week, a very disappointing top 3. And you have to ask the first question here, those VOR teammates, are they getting along a little bit better this week? Because there's a little friction, I would say, between Julian and Oscar maybe. Oscar kind of played it off and said great run by Julian, but Julian was more like, I'm not so sure about that. Gavin Sanders has moved up to the second position as he tries to track down the 17 as we ride on board. You see his track kind of bumpy. It's worn out a little bit. A very flat oval. Having 28 flat that time by. That bump you're seeing right there, it's actually the tunnel going into turn 1 coming out of the road course section right before the start-finish line over on that track. Clean and green. Let's go back here. This fight for the 6th position as Julian working that high side, trying to get a run on Sudik, and he is going to take it. What a nice move there by Julian, taking the 6th position away. So that 31 looking pretty sporty there on that top side. Back here, Shane Cogan trying to get around Dakota DeMay. You got Matt Houston behind him with Owen Evans. As already 12 laps in. This is one of the rare races when I had my short time with VOR Racing, as Cogan makes the pass on the Hello Kitty car of Dakota DeMay. One of the rare tracks I actually got to run a race at in VOR. Didn't have much success. Unfortunately, knocked the wall down late in the race. And kind of struggled a little bit, if I remember that day correctly. But not to mention, it was a very fun track. I enjoyed the strategy you had to run around it, because you almost had to treat it like 2 different tracks in one. As Owen Evans looking inside Matt Houston, not able to make the pass yet. We're 14 laps deep already, as Alex Van de Sand has pulled away about 0.7 of a second over Gavin Sanders. Got 1.2 on Mitchell Riggs, who continues to be consistent here to start this season and is picking up where he left off last couple of races here. I think it's fair to say could tonight be a night where he gets his first career win. Oh boy, here we go, the teammates. Oh, not the button I was trying to, there we go. Julian's been utilizing this high line and doing a pretty good job of it. how much you're off that throttle in this tighter corner. Close to 200 miles an hour down there in the turn number 3 and 4. Down 2 gears, at least almost 3, depending on how your handling is right now. But there's your leader, Alex Van de Sant. As I mentioned, about a 1 second lead now. Tonight, race number 4 of this Apex Sage Coaching IndyCar Series here on the Velocity Online Racing channel with the Captain Esports Network. Watching the times a little bit, looks like Gavin at times gaining on Alex, and times he's kind of holding steady for the most part. But as you see, this track all about handling, and in about 10 to 15 laps, you're going to see these leaders interacting with lap traffic, which could make this very interesting. But you can kind of get spread out here and kind of run your own pace, so to say. But I say that is the one car going backwards here, Dakota DeMay. Not as sure what's going on with this 82 car. He has had his struggles this season. And now runs into 16th position and battles with James Watson back here. We're 22 laps in already. Field getting pretty spread out, but so far 3 winners in 3 different races so far. And we got trouble on the track. Trouble. James Watson has spun it out and towed. And the caution out for the first time. And the 39 has already towed himself back to pit road. Of course, he was in that battle with Dakota DeMay. As the caution will come out here for the first time as they pick up the pace car. We'll get a replay here in just a moment. But the first caution, lap 22 here of this Motegi 400. Here we go. The leader's going to come to pit road. And it looks like everybody's coming in. So one of 6 sets of tires they have in the pits here to work with. Quick stops from the team, and here we go out of pit road. It will be Van de Sant with an 8.2 second stop. We do have some cars that did stay out. Matt Houston, Lewis Woodall, Jim Herrick. Those 3 cars appear to have stayed out after this caution. Let's look back at the cause of the yellow. The 39 of James Watson, who made his season debut tonight. Oh, he got in the outside wall. He unfortunately went to turn one and just caught the outside wall trying to enter the corner, and it just broke the car, unfortunately. Watch again here. Nice judgment there for the Ohio driver, and unfortunately going to be the first one out of the race here at lap 21. All right, so we're going to have some cars stay out. Of course, the first race in the month of February. Just a couple notes for the race tonight. Entering pits, you can do so off turn 4. It is a difficult pit road, obviously, to maintain. So obviously, hopefully these guys got some practice throughout that session. Obviously, off turn 2 is, of course, the pit exit. Of course, the respective pit entry and exit cones. You got to worry about that dreaded iRacing black flag. You do not want to see that, of course, when it's all said and done. As here we go, pace car going to pull off. As we go back racing here at lap 25, Matt Houston, Lewis Woodall, Jim Herrick. Your top 3 did not pit. So we're going to see really quickly how these tires do. If anywhere, this is going to be the area, turn 3 and 4, where you're going to see passes happen. You see Van de Sande good run off the corner, and he should be able to get right by Jim Herrick pretty easily. Mitchell Riggs there behind him in 81. As they both make the pass, here comes Gavin Sanders now. Herrick, oh, a little defensive move there by Herrick, but also trying to make a pass on the inside at the same time. Going up the track he goes, and there goes Sanders by. Going to kill his momentum here. Gonzalez Nunez going by. Fredrickson, Altena, everybody's going by, unfortunately. Nice job, everybody, avoiding the 40 car of Herrick. Unfortunately, just slid up the track, a lot of shape there, had to go catch her. Oh, here's the teammates going at it, Altena and Fredrickson. Gotta be very careful what we see out of these teammates. Oh, one car wrecking hard. Craig Forsyth into the inside wall. And caution's coming out for a second time. Trouble for an LMC gear car. And a Canadian-born driver, unfortunately, off the track with the second caution on lap 30. Let's view the replay here. The 27 car. Oh, he caught the outside wall. And that speared him into the inside wall. Hard lick. Check one more time here. Does a good job of letting the car settle down. As here come now leaders back to pit road. The top two, I should say, top three cars. Let me correct myself. Two of the top three cars that stayed out going to come to pit road now as Lewis Woodall now stays out. The tires and fuel, and these guys will pull away. So I talked about it a little bit last week with the way this track is, the 1.5 mile oval here, or egg-shaped oval, I should say. Whereas this track was raced on by a couple NASCAR races. Of course, IndyCar ran here for a few years, and in 2011 happened, which was the earthquake in Japan. And part of the track was damaged. And I'm not sure if, I assume they fixed it, but I don't know of any races on the oval since then. All right, going to see some more cars on pit road. Dakota DeMay comes in. Jeff Destino, Matt Houston, Jim Herrick. Those guys going to top off the fuel cell here. So if you did get a chance to check out the races earlier in the day, want to remind you, of course, this is not the only VOR race that happens on Saturdays. One of the fun series going on right now is the 05 schedule, the 05 season. As they just did the Texas Motor Speedway, just ran the old legacy Texas Motor Speedway earlier today. And next week, of course, they will go to the Richmond Raceway for race number 5 of that series. The 2005 IndyCar season with VOR, to kind of reminisce back to what was that season 17 years ago. Got that one, and then also you have the Euro schedule, which of course is going on right now. They just finished up their race today in the Hungaroring for 40 laps, as they'll get ready to hit the streets of Long Beach in 2 weeks. So you got those two schedules going on right now. And of course the main schedule that we focus on tonight, the Twin Ring Motegi Oval. We'll get the week off next week, and we'll go to the streets of Long Beach on the 19th of February, and then come back to Richmond Raceway on March 5th. We'll get another week off in between those two races, and then we'll hit the doubleheader at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, starting with the bike course, believe it or not. Round number 7 there, and then the Speedway on round number 8 on March the 28th. One to go this time by. Lewis Woodall leading, but of course Alex Van de Sant right there behind him, riding on those coattails. As you see, as always, these trucks move to the top side, or the trucks, forgive me. The Indy cars move to the top side as they get ready to go to the green flag. Here's Woodall, brings them down very slowly and is on the throttle. Here we go, cars checking up mid-pack. Everybody doing okay. Lewis going to try to get away from these guys. As Van de Sant, Riggs, Gonzalez, Nunez there behind Sanders. As here's the teammates going at it again as they come up on the back of Luis Gonzalez Nunez. I don't know what it is. It seems like every week when two drivers have some issues with each other, they always find a way around each other. Just seems like the way racing goes is up ahead here. Gavin Sanders has gone by Alex Van de Sande along with Mitchell Riggs. So as Woodall runs the fastest lap of the race by himself, that's impressive. Wonder if Lewis knows something that we don't know here. How about this 13 car? Looking pretty good so far. As Alex Van de Sande's on pit road. What happened here? Let's see if he comes. He's coming to his pit stall here, so problems for the pole sitter here and the point leader. I'll have to investigate here, but he's gone a lap down, unfortunately, now. So Woodall starting to kind of stretch it out a little bit here with that clean air. As Thomas Geisler trying to hold off Sudik for the 7th position right now. Nick with a pretty good run, top side there, crosses over to the bottom. See if he can complete the pass here on the 16 car, and he sure does. Slides up in front of him. Now, Alex did join the track, but he is 3 laps down now after that pit stop. So, again, not sure what happened to the one, what caused him, if it was maybe contact with the wall or something. I'll have to investigate. See if we can find it up here, maybe. Oh, right there, Alex popped the wall hard. That's what happened. That explains it. A tough break for the one. The 2-time champion unfortunately got the battle back from the 17th position here. And is going to need some yellow, but one thing I am seeing here is track position is king tonight. Again, much like a couple weeks ago at Atlanta. Two laps in. And Woodall in a 1.3 second lead over Mitchell Riggs right now is Julian riding here in the 5th position. Stretched it out a little bit on Oscar. Of course, trying to catch Gonzalez Nunez up here at 4th right now. Craig Forsyth not too happy right now with what has taken place. I think he's sharing his feelings about the setup tonight. Owen Evans doing a pretty good job up to the 9th position right now. 65-mile-an-hour down the turn 3 and 4 section of the track as he goes down to turn 1 here. Let's see what they get to. Now 206 miles an hour through the fast part of the track here, so actually going to probably get up around 215 maybe here. This shows you the speed they're running at this track. We're 47 laps in. Now Lewis Woodall has not pitted, so I would say with a little fuel save, probably another 15 laps or so, we will see this 13 car on pit road. I know what this is definitely going to do, and very interesting situation here for a lot of these cars is it's going to open up somebody trying strategy later in this race to not pit. Obviously, tires have not really worn because here's Woodall leading this race, and he's still on the original set of tires that he started with. And he's doing a good job pacing it and obviously running consistent lap times. Go back here is Van de Sant letting Geisler and Owen Evans and Boston go by here as Isaac unfortunately off the pace. Hello, sir. Appreciate you watching this evening. A Luis Gonzalez Nunez fan. I'm not the best speaker of Spanish, but from what I'm reading out of that, sounds like this person is in Chile watching tonight. Which, of course, it's January, so summertime in Chile, I believe. So, hey, hopefully you're staying cool and enjoying your time. Luis right there in the 4th position, doing a great job. Let's jump up to the front because all of a sudden Mitchell Riggs has hawked down Lewis Woodall. So not sure if the tires are falling off here. The 13's under attack though. High side goes Riggs. And here comes Woodall, going to come to pit road. 11.7 Woodall pulls away, and he will go a lap down here, so he's going to need this cycle to go all the way through here on these pit stops. Leaders we should be seeing in about 20 laps or so. He's going to need it again to just keep going green here, and he's going to need to try to get what track position he can, because now this 81 is out there in clean air. That's a fair point, Dan. Good call. I would still think, though, he's got to get the track position, though. He can't just sit here behind Shane Cogan. He's going to need to get up and gain as many spots as he can and get as much gain, because that 81's got clean air right now on that nose. That's my boy right there. That's my boy. So Mitchell Briggs leaving Gavin Sanders right now, as you see Julian Altena running in the 4th position. As it feels like this race just started a little bit ago, and here we are already 100 laps to go in this race, 62 laps complete. Lap time's just under 30 seconds at about 28 seconds or so. There's your leader, the Apex Sage Coaching, number 81, Mitchell Briggs. He's got 1.8 seconds over Gavin Sanders, and then Gonzalez Nunez there in 3rd. As the rest of this field getting pretty strung out now, as we get ready for those potential green flag pit stops coming. Sadiq, 6th position for him. Nick looking to become the point leader after tonight's issues to Alex Van de Sant. Track temp, I don't, I can, let me throw it on my screen here real quick. 104. 104, so it's pretty slickery out there. Shane Cogan, 10th position right now. Shane is 15 seconds back as you look back to Jim Herrick in 11th. Right at Shane here. A very wide front straightaway, as I mentioned, an egg-shaped oval. When you think of Darlington, very high bank. This one, not so high banked. Only 10 degrees in the corners, but very wide. So a little blip of the throttle there. You got the bumps there over the tunnel. And down this back straightaway here. And then the not so wide turn 3 and 4 here. You're down, what, 1 or 2 gears here. The third gear, turn 3 and 4. You got to be very careful right here. I know when I ran this race a couple seasons ago, there was a few times I've outspun out in that corner and finally did spit out in that corner. And I think what it is you get so much wheel in that corner from being having some understeer that it finally grips and you get oversteer. As I watch Shane turn his wheel, he's not turning it too much, so you see already straightening the wheel up to try to keep the grip oversteer and keep the snap from happening. All right, so where's Lewis Woodall right now on the screen? He's 16th, and there he is, just behind the Cameron Boston car. Lewis right now running laps at 28:43. He is 0.2 off. So that just shows you this dirty air is affecting Lewis's car. So this is where I talked about the whole deal with being in this clean air after a pit stop. And it was mentioned about Gavin right now. Gavin's last time, it was a 28:10. He was actually faster than Riggs that last time by. So not sure if something happened maybe. You know what it is? I'm seeing lap traffic behind him. These cars are starting to interact with lap traffic. Jeff Destino is one of the cars there, and also I'm trying to see who else was in there. And I think that kind of hurt the 10 potentially. As Riggs puts a lap on Matt Houston, who led a few laps earlier in this race. Then again, here's once again Gavin falls back, so there could be something to that. Let's see if Matt's going to let him in here or get some air on his nose there. That's surely not going to help the 10 car. Yeah, everybody's on the same pit. Well, as a matter of fact, Sudik's on pit road now, so let the pit stops begin here. All these guys coming on pit road. This is the first time since lap 23, so 53 laps on a tank. As Sudik slides it in there. And Sudik's going to drive away here. Good stop here is a 9.2er. As Julian Altena now comes to pit road. Let's see if his VOR teammates follow him in. Mitchell Riggs coming to pit road. The leader comes in. So is Gonzalez Nunez. You would think Gavin's going to be pretty close behind him here. Slides it into the box. And a 9.9 there as Geisler comes to pit road. Gavin still staying out right now. I think an overcut may be potentially happening here. And now Gavin on pit road. Oscar Fredrickson coming right there with him. Gavin rolls away. Let's see. There goes Riggs right on by right now. So the leader right now is Cameron Bostian with Jim Herrick, Dakota DeMay, your top three. And it looks like a really good stop for Riggs in the end. Going to gain a little bit of time right now as Riggs has ran the fastest lap with a 27.54. And for everybody, it looks like it will be a one-stop race. Now here's where I talked about the issue with the pit stop that happened to Lewis Woodall. So right now we're looking at who is going to be the leader of this race. It's going to be Mitchell Riggs. However, if you remember when the stop happened, Lewis Woodall was the leader. However, Lewis is now stuck behind Julian Altena in what is eventually going to be the 5th position. So the track position he tried to gain by getting the fresher tires actually bit him because he was stuck in traffic. So not only now do you have older tires, but you've got dirty air all around you, which, well, pretty much the whole field does. Jim Herrick coming to pit road. That's going to give Dakota DeMay the lead in the Hello Kitty car. I'm not sure if there was a bet involved here or if there's something behind that paint scheme, but there's got to be something. Sebastian Hinder in the 97 trying to unlap himself. Well, right here, Gavin Sanders has got to the back bumper of Matt Houston. Going to try to cross him over here, trying to make this pass. It'll be for position. As at the same time, Dakota comes to pit road. So that'll cycle everything back around to Mitchell Riggs, who's looking to be the 4th winner in 4 races. And looking to get a tight grip here on the battle for the championship here early in this season after the issues. Now Alex Van de Sande has him 2 laps down right now. So 3 seconds separates the top two right now. As Matt Houston comes off pit road, there's Woodall now the 8th position. So, yeah, those worn out tires really taking a toll on Woodall now, as this is the longest green flag run we've had. Oh, almost gets the wall. And almost gets the 17 there. Again, next week we'll be off and then on to Long Beach. And round number 5. And for me, actually, it's going to be a busy weekend next week, as I'll be getting ready for potentially and hopefully praying to goodness for our first ever Podium 500 start at Daytona next Saturday. If everything goes right. As, oh, Lewis is in the wall. Not sure how much damage he got from it. He saw the right front brake for a second and pop back in. That same thing happened to Alex Van de Sande a little bit ago. And he's off the pace now. $70 laps to go. And another car off the pace. And into the wall hard. It's Destino in the 42. He's going to go to the apron. And off the track, so no caution. He should be able to go all the way back to pit road here as Woodall continues to fall back now with that damage. So a tough break there. Gavin Sanders here, second position, about 1.2 seconds back. Bump on the 97 of Sebastian Kinder. Oscar Fredrickson, 6th position right now, about 0.8 of a second behind Nicholas Sudik. Can't help but wonder how much difference we're seeing in like the weight jacker and different things like that in each corner, and how much adjusting they are doing to try. Oh, caution's out. Trouble on the track, and I believe it's Woodall. Woodall has finally wrecked it, I believe. And what looked very promising for the 13 brings out the third caution. Let's see what happens to him. Of course, he had caught the wall a little bit ago. Oh, and this time he really finishes the car off. Oh, into the inside wall hard also. Can't help but feel bad for him. I mean, he ran well, had a good strategy early, but unfortunately, it all ends right there. All right, so tough break for him as we will see green flag pit stops and oh, a fake by Gavin. And this is going to be very interesting because now we're just outside of 62 laps to go. Tires in fuel, and 81's going to pull away with ease. But Sanders going to stay out. I wonder if Gavin feels like they cannot make it all the way on fuel here, so he's going to go ahead and take the track position and try to get away from the 81. So Luis Gonzalez-Nunez is going to line up second now. Julian Alton a third. Oscar Fredrickson, Cohen Evans, those 5 cars. Stay out here. Dan thinks that they're going to pit early here, or pit right before 1 to go. Let's see if that happens. Looks like lap cars coming in now. Let's, while we're under caution here, let's throw up the pit strategy here. So, actually, let's go stint length. Easy for me to say. So, looks like these guys went about 55 laps. So, with this caution, obviously Gavin cannot go the distance. He's going to have to pit one more time in here. The question comes down to, can Riggs, can Sudik, can Geisler and Boston, those guys, can they go 64 laps on a tank of fuel here? I mean, going off those numbers right there, no. So if that's the case, let me ask this question to the fans. If we're pretty sure that Mitchell and those guys cannot make it on fuel, do you stay out if you're Gavin and go as far and as hard as you can and get whatever you can with the track position, come to pit road, get the tires and fuel, and hopefully cycle out in front when the others come to pit road? Alrighty then. As here we go, pace car is gonna pull off as the lights are off. Underneath the banners they go here. And Sanders going to lead him to the green flag. Let's see if he can get a pretty good jump on Gonzalez, Nunez, and Altena. Here we go. To the outside, Briggs gets a good jump on Owen Evans back here for 5th. Oh, and contacted around. Julian Altena goes into the wall with Luis Gonzalez, Nunez. And just like that, 4th caution comes out. Let's see what transpires here. Looks like Julian drove it to the inside there, and Luis took a late apex into the corner. And it brought contact together. Caution for the 4th time here. That's very interesting one to make right there. Let's look at it one more time. I want to go on board with Julian. Tough situation there. So what do you do now? Are you obviously got it over at fuel map 8, saving a lot of fuel here? Julian's actually back on track right now. Julian only going to fall a lap down with that damage, unfortunately for Gonzalez. Nunez looks like he's out of the race. Pit stop wise, nobody on the lead lap came to pit road, it looks like. Everybody's saving fuel and going on track position here. Riggs has moved his way up to the 3rd position after that incident. Unofficial plug here. A&W root beer is really good. what color my butt cheeks are. Anyways, here we go. Going to go back racing next time. Bye. So it sounds like, for what I'm reading from the both of you, I think we are saying that we would call that a racing incident on both ends, or are we... There you go. That answers my question. Thank you, Craig. All right, going to go back racing. Let's see if they saved enough fuel here if we stay green for the last 56 laps of this race. There is a lap car in between the top two, and that is Jim Herrick in the 40 car, which could play a role right now. It is a 1-2 for the VOR guys as we go back green. And Oscar Fredrickson did not go. And now they're going to be 3-1 down the back straightaway. Sadiq to the low side. Look at that move by Geisler outside of Owen Evans. Cohen looking to finally have a good run. Geisler got up the track a little bit there. Now he's got to protect that bottom side, as Evans going to go back to the top side here on him. Shows you what kind of runs you can get up there on that top side. As here's Fredrickson now trying to hold off Sadiq for third. As Riggs, after getting held up a little bit on that restart, got around Jim Herrick. So now it's he and Sanders one-on-one. The problem is it's a 1.6 second gap. Take this opportunity to give a shout out to the Track Cams for Gourmet people. Of course, usually the cameras that you'll see during the race here on the Captain Esports Network. Unfortunately, no cameras for Motegi. However, we have the onboard cameras for the cars tonight. And a big shout out for what they do for us. Of course, you can check out trackcams22.com, giving us the closest picture you will find to a real IndyCar race on TV. Right here in front of you. That is Sadiq to the top side, making a pass. We continue to watch the Geisler-Evans battle for fifth. Geisler's going to try to cross him up here, see if he can make the move. Gets the draft off the corner. Good run. Nice diamond of the corner there, as they call that. And going to make the move to the inside. Geisler going to make the pass for the fifth spot. Unfortunately, 6 seconds back, though, from the lead. We'll go on board with Gavin Sanders here for a minute. I want to see if you can hear any kind of fuel save going on. would say no. Now, that's not saying that potentially in the settings either of his car he's not running maybe a different number or something like that and saving fuel that way. But you do carry a lot of gas time here at this track. Yeah, it's a fair point, Dan. I was thinking maybe more of those who would maybe kind of burp the throttle a little earlier going to turn 3. But I don't seem to be hearing that or seeing that either. Well, the thing about that, actually, as you say that, is Owen Evans pitted at lap 78, so he is one that is on the strategy with Sanders. Geisler and Cogan, those guys, and also Cameron Boston. Actually, this is interesting. Let's look at this right here. I'm going to bring this up on the screen. Look at Cameron Boston's last lap of when he pitted down there at the bottom. You see that little yellow bar on the far right? That is lap 105 when he pitted. That would be 57 laps on a tank of fuel. That 86 car might be a sneaky one in this one to watch. I just caught that out of the corner of my eye as I was going through the pit laps over here. Now, for those who have never seen this, by the way, I'm willing to show this. I've had people ask me before, like, how do I see all the strategy and stuff like that? And I don't think I get to show you guys this much, so I'm going to throw this on the air for a second here. I'll slide this little screen over for you guys to see. Well, there's the times right there and things like that. So if you look right here is the pit number. Actually, let me turn the track map off for a second so you guys see this. All right, there's the technology I use. If everybody wants to know what I use for timing and stuff, this is it. Last lap, right there, laps. There's the best laps today. There's the distance between each other, distance to the leader. Look at this right here. Bam, 105, Cameron Boston. So basically, when you hear me on the air talking about what technology, like when I'm talking about little things like this is how far they're separated and all those kind of stuff, this is where I'm getting it all right there on the screen. That's my technology, and that's just my remote control of everything I put on the screen. So there you go, a little behind the scenes of how I do it. Thanks to SDK Gaming, by the way, for hooking me up with all this stuff. So 0.2 of a second battle between these two here. I don't think Cam's going to need to save. If anything, if I'm Cam, I'm almost thinking right now you go as hard as you can to try to keep the track position, and then once the pit stops start, at that point back off. I mean, Craig, obviously when you were out there, how much were you looking at lap-wise to the finish? Cohen Evans. So Cohen is on the same strategy. It looks like we got two different strategies right now. We've got the older tire strategy, which is Cohen Evans and Gavin Sanders. We got the more common strategy right now, which is Mitchell Riggs, Nicholas Sudik, Thomas Geisler, and Shane Cogan. And then we have the, hey, why not strategy, which is Cameron Boston. Good information there to know there, Craig. So Gavin's lead continues to be about 1.7 seconds. And just looking over at some of the pit stops I saw a little bit ago, looks like the pit road delta is about 42 seconds or so, 41 to 42 seconds on average, which is over a lap. So technically, you could, and don't get me wrong, I know that delta is probably going to come down a little bit with short fills, but you could even throw Dakota DeMay into this race. Might not win it, but he could get a good finish out of it as he pitted at lap 104. And he's 10th a lap down, but if he could stay within 40 seconds, which right now he's at 35 seconds. So that's a lap plus the 7 seconds or so back from the lead. I'm just trying to give you guys all the scenario I'm seeing right now on this screen. Now, obviously, with the way the tires have gone off, or lack thereof, I would argue that you do not take tires at the stop. You just fill this thing up with fuel and you get out. But, oh, look at this. Gavin's coming to pit road. And he about missed it. I mean, that would be one hell of a top 5 for Dakota if he could finish that. There you go, tires and fuel for the 10. Now, once again, similar move here that we saw at Lewis Woodall earlier. We got to make sure if Gavin does this, he's got to make sure he stays out of any lap traffic. If he gets in any lap traffic right now, that could be trouble. He needs to get clean air. But still, with 29 laps to go, anything can happen. And caution is out now. Uh-oh. Oscar Fredrickson. Well, that just changed everything. Actually, it might not necessarily be for Oscar. It looks like it's Jeff Destino, actually, that's brought out the caution I'm seeing here. Maybe. I'm trying to see if I'm seeing this right. Let's look what happened here. Oh, yeah, he's up in the outside wall here. I think he's trying to get the pit road here. And it's going to trigger. Oh, no. That right there. And if a car goes by, there's your caution right there. Well, there goes that strategy. And that might just be the end here for Gavin Sanders. We'll have to see. The tough break there, and oh no, the leader's coming to pit road. So as you see, Destino with the caution, Mitchell Riggs comes to pit road here. So did Sudik. So did Geisler, it looks like. All these guys, Shane Cogan, Owen Evans, and Cameron Bostian all coming to pit road. And what this is going to do is allow Gavin Sanders to take the wave around. And he is going to come back on the lead lap here. So look at this top five now as we line up. We've got a driver that's not won a race in this series. We've got another driver that won his first race in the opener. Another driver that won his first race at the last race of the season. Shane Coogan's here in fourth, and then Owen Evans in fifth. So all these cars will get the wave around and go back on the lead, or Gavin will go back on the lead lap. It looks like others will get at least one lap back. So we'll go green likely next time by. All right, as we come back to the green flag, 25 laps to go. It is going to be Riggs, Sudik, Thomas Geisler now up to third. Shane Coogan, Owen Evans, your top five. Can Riggs hold him off here and get this first win? Sudik looking for win number 2. Here we go. Oh, big stack up back there with Sanders and others. Sudik's going to get the run to the top side. Oh, no, Riggs is going to Save it! I thought he was gone. And Sanders has gone by the 81, and Sadiq has gone to the front. We got to go back to that. I'm under the same thing here. Oh, he caught the apron right there. Got on the apron. That was one heck of a save, though. Yeah, go on board and see this. Watch this save. This is the old hands and feet on the wheel at the same time. Wow, how do you save that? And Sadiq just ran the fastest lap of the race of 27:36 just now. Geisler trying to get to him. Shane Cogan up to third. He's got Owen Evans, who's having the best run of his season, up here in fourth. Cameron Boston. Now Riggs did get past Sanders for sixth. Cameron getting a pretty good run here on the 17. Going to try the top side. Seems to be working. $18 to go. In this Apex Sage Coaching IndyCar Series race from Velocity Online Racing, in what has had a ton of twists and turns. I mean, for a little bit, it looked like we could see an upset with Lewis Woodall. Unfortunately, he wrecked out. Then it looked like Gavin Sanders raced. Then it looked like Mitchell Riggs' race. And now all of a sudden it looks like Nicholas Sadiq's race. Turn 4, 15 laps to go. Mitchell Riggs still up here in sixth, unable to make up any ground on Cam or on Cohen or any of these guys right now. The lead for Sadiq is up to 1.9. course, Sadiq scored his win in the season opener at Auto Club Speedway in a late race battle with Alex Van de Sant. And of course, that Ohio DDR is a racing crew in the state of Ohio that he represents. That's who's on the side of his car, looking to put them in victory lane again tonight. As the two cars that have dominated this race battle for 6th and 7th, how they are both going to be disappointed tonight. Ten laps to go, the lead at 2.6 or 2.2 seconds, I should say, over the 16. Battle for 3rd and 4th and 5th is kind of getting closer and closer to each other, it looks like here. What kind of different lines can you run? I know I saw a little bit of a top side earlier helping, about a second groove up the track. It looks like everybody right now just kind of running down on the bottom. I saw looked like Mitchell up the track a little bit there, but that might have been from him getting tight. And here comes Gavin. Going to be the battle for the 5th spot. Destino yields way. Gavin with the run to the inside for 6th. And he'll take the spot away in a 1. And all of a sudden, we've lost Thomas Geisler. And everything's really getting crazy now. And all of a sudden, Geisler's back. I think it's about time we all leave Japan. I'm just going to throw that out there now. 5 to go. This is a race that Cameron Boston is going to not want to forget, and what I believe is going to be his best career finish in this league. Congratulations to the driver out of the Texas area. If he can finish off this last 4 miles, and looking at a first career top 5 finish there, the 86, who's done a great job of continuing to develop his open wheel driving skills. Wanted to send him a shout out real quickly as he holds off Gavin Sanders by 7/10 right now. The battle between Cogan and Cohen has settled down. And it looks like Geisler about 2.1 seconds back, so unless he can make a big time gain here in the next 3 or so miles, comes Nick off turn 4. He'll see the white flag. Final lap here from Twin Ring Motegi. Sadiq showed he had a top 5 car throughout the night. And he's been able to survive what has been a pretty wild race and is going to see the victory lane for a second time in his career. Sadiq has won the Motegi 400. Geisler second, Cogan third. Owen Evans and Cameron Boston, your top 5. Amen to that, Dan. Thank you, sir. Needless to say, if there's any place you want to do a burnout at, it might be this track. But you have plenty of room to not hit anything. There's a couple of burnouts. Gonna do what we know as a Polish victory lap. And while he does that, let's take a look at the results from this evening as Nick wins this thing. Thomas Geisler finishing second. Great finish for him. Shane Cogan third. Owen Evans, Cameron Boston. I would say that the Yahtzee Bowl is going to be mixed up tonight with the point standings. Sadiq should take the lead back over, I would think. Gavin Sanders 6th, Mitchell Riggs 7th, Oscar Fredrickson 8th, Dakota DeMay 9th, and Jim Herrick 10th, Matt Houston 11th, Julian Alton at 12th, Sebastian Kinder 13th, Alex Van de Sand 14th, Jeff Destino 15th, Luis Gonzalez Nunez 16th, Lewis Woodall 17th, James Watson there in the 18th position, and unfortunately Craig Forsyth finishing in 19th after a early race caution. And what turned out to be a pretty crazy race. Had its ups and downs of leaders and so on and so forth. And we'll talk to our top 3 drivers here momentarily. As you look at the road course they were at last week, as I mentioned, there's part of it again. That's the portion that heads out of the track and out into the, I guess we'll call it the outfield maybe? I don't know what the right term would be there. And then back into the track eventually. As let's get our third place finisher in here with us tonight. Shane Cogan, great run for you tonight. What a sequence of events. I know you were hanging back there about the 10th position throughout that long green flag run. Some sequence of events happened, and all of a sudden you got yourself a top 3.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. It was, it ended up working out pretty good for us there. We knew it was going to be a long race, and I think we started like 15th, so just tried to play the long game. And we were saving fuel early, just trying to hang on to what we had. It was very difficult to attack and make a move, so ended up getting a little lucky there with the caution and just tried to bring her home.
I was going to say, how much was the air playing a role tonight? Because it looked like you could get up maybe into a second lane and maybe not be as affected nearly as bad and maybe potentially make runs that way. Was that the case, or was it just one of those, if you were faster than the other guy, you were able to find a way by doing that?
Yeah, it was a great question. It was just tricky overall. I mean, the surface was very low grip at Motegi to begin with, and the setup is just not very grippy at all. I mean, you're just working the tools to the max, and the thing is just not really responding very well. So kind of a numb, car feeling, doesn't give you a lot of feedback, so very tricky to know going into the corner, if it's going to wash up on the exit. So just had to kind of play it conservative. I mean, on the restarts, you could maybe capitalize on a mistake if somebody got a little bit wide, but you only had a couple laps on the tires to really to really use them. So it was tricky. I knew it was going to be just a survival race, people making mistakes all day, and we just tried to hang on to our own.
And you had a mistake-free race tonight. Great job tonight in a third-place finish. Shout out to whoever you like to, sir.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to Team Race First. Thomas, my teammate, did a really good job. He was really quick tonight too. And Matt and Dakota, always great to run with those guys. So shout out to Team Race First with Sunset Arctic Games, and also shout out to Western Waves Media, my side hustle. And yeah, we'll be back. We'll try to grab a win here in VOR this season.
There you go, my man. Great job tonight. Congratulations on your P3.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Shane Cogan finishing in the third place position tonight. He mentioned his teammate Thomas Geisler, a great run, which ended up being his best run since his dominant win at Chicagoland last season. Thomas, congratulations on your second place run. You obviously showed the solid run that you had throughout the night, hanging out right around the bottom end of the top 5, but things worked out for you and you were able to gain some track position.
Yeah, hello, thank you. Yeah, it worked out pretty well in the end. Okay, a little bit of luck. Mitchell went sideways. I think he managed to stay off the wall.
He did.
If I see, yeah, that that was a good save. Somehow, yes. Yes, it turned out pretty well. I didn't feel too well the whole race, especially the first half or 2/3 of the race. And just in the end, I found the right line for me. But it P2 is okay for me, I have to say. No, it's really good.
Yeah,
just Nicholas was too fast today. He was really fast.
Yeah, he did a great job, as did you. And, of course, you had some battles out there on the track early in that race. But one thing that Shane mentioned was how the air was very, very turbulent towards these cars. It was very hard to attack. Was there anything you were able to find out there that could help you throughout the race, or was it one of those once you kind of got going 5-10 laps into a run, it was settle in and just get what you can get out of that?
Yeah, exactly. It was this way. If you catch up to the guy in front of you, you got dirty air, and then it's really hard to pass. And it was a better feeling to let it stretch out a bit. And yeah, it was exactly this way.
Well, great job tonight. Second place finish. Thomas, your chance to shout out whoever you like.
Yeah, shout outs to Raceverse again, of course, and Sunset Arctic Games. All the guys who made it a good race. And yeah, that's pretty it. You for broadcasting, of course.
Oh, absolutely. My pleasure as always. And great job tonight. And congratulations on P2.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely.
See you.
See you in 2 weeks.
Yeah, see you. Bye-bye.
Thomas Geisler, second place finish tonight behind this guy right here who, as they always say, you kick down that barn door and that first win, it starts getting easier from there. Nicholas Sadiq gets the victory tonight, his second win of his season and of his career, and I believe going to be the new points leader after tonight in the championship race. So great job there, Nick. Obviously, a fairly good car, it seemed like, for you up there in the top 5. And then, of course, that caution kind of opened the door up, and then unfortunate mistakes by Mitchell really opened the door up for you, and you were able to go to victory lane.
Yeah, I'm sipping this Mountain Dew because I don't have any champagne. But no, it was a great race. I was just telling Shane and Thomas in the waiting room here in Discord like the fights we had were phenomenal.
Right.
It was a little bit of a shame to see so many mid and late race incidents because it was such a good race. Like even though we were getting strung out, there were people that were saving their tires. There was some fuel strategy going on. About halfway through, or a third of the way through that last stint, I was talking with Cameron, and because we had to split strategy, I was like, maybe I should try to save. And then I just looked at Mitchell and oh my God, who was in front? I think it was
Gavin. I believe it was Gavin.
Gavin, yeah, because Gavin got trapped. I saw them pulled away, and I was like, I gotta go. Everybody else is hard saving behind me. Like, the only chance I have is to gap because there's nobody aside from possibly him that could have made it. So it was very entertaining from a driver's standpoint. But yeah, again, like I said, the incidents happened a little bit. I felt terrible for what happened to Alex Van de Sande early on. Just hit the wall right after the restart, and then with Mitchell, obviously, too. That was just tough luck. I hope I gave him enough room. I think I gave him enough room.
Yeah, it looked like he clipped the apron.
So yeah, I almost did that in the last stint myself. Like a lap or two after that, I was trying to gap and cut the do a little late of a late apex, and I caught the apex a little too early on turn 1 and 2, and there was a little bit of wheel squill in there. Oh no, I just had to adjust all race, and every adjustment I made just kind of worked out. So I'll take it.
Yeah, fantastic run from you, obviously, tonight to get that second win. And I know that's got to feel pretty nice because I know at Auto Club you got the pressure off your back, and now it's like, okay, now things are starting to roll a little bit.
Yeah, I've last couple of days I ran a few official races, and they have not gone so well. So it was nice to have some league success and keep the momentum going. And yeah, this is a weird position for me because I haven't been on iRacing I haven't even been on for 2 years, and I'm just getting involved with leagues and being a points leader in such a league with such parity. And it's weird, but I'm gonna roll with it. We're just gonna keep this train going.
Hey, nothing wrong with that, man. That's all you can do is keep it rolling. You get the week off here next week and head to Long Beach. Your chance to go enjoy Victory Lane here tonight with the team, and shout out to whoever you like to, bud.
First of all, with our ending of our virtual visit to virtual Motegi, I think it's only fitting that the Ohio DDR car take place.
Yes.
For the Ohio Rhythm Game community. That's kind of funny. Give big shots to them as always for supporting me, watching me. Being my moral support too is needed. Kelsey and my wonderful dog Jordy as always. Turn 4 Racing, featuring Cameron, AJ, Zach, who has made my wonderful paint scheme, but refuses to take money from me. and shout outs Nick the Groot, random shout out for the day. Nick the Groot, top 1 autosport reporter in North America. Follow him. Follow me too on Twitter, NJ Sudik. And my Twitch is on my Twitter as well. So thank you as well, Chris, and the rest of the league admins. And I can awkwardly end my talking here. So thank you so much.
Well, still, great job, man. Well said. And we will see you in a couple weeks, buddy.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, you too. Nicholas Sudik there going to Victory Lane tonight for the second time in his VOR Apex Sage Coaching IndyCar career. So what a wild race that was. It was entertaining. Didn't know what was going to happen at the end. When it was all said and done, it's Sudik back in Victory Lane for a second time in his career. And a big shout out to everybody who showed up tonight. Dan Marrero, appreciate you stopping in, watching tonight. Of course, Craig, sorry I had to talk to you in chat, but unfortunately it's the way circumstances go in the racing like this. So best of luck to you, obviously, in the future, my friend. And a shout out to all the viewers who watched tonight, and also a shout out to all the drivers who were here. And as always, make sure you give this VOR channel a follow. Of course, you got 3 different races, I believe it is, on Saturdays you can watch here on the channel, including this one on Saturday evenings. Our next time here, 2 weeks from now, Long Beach, we'll get you ready from back on the U.S. side of things. Coming up here in 2 weeks. So looking forward to broadcasting that race for you on Saturday night. So with that said, we're out. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And always remember, this isn't just a game. It's iRacing. See ya.